Over 2,000 years ago, ancient Chinese scholars observed the changing patterns in our natural world, the climate, the turning of the seasons, and astronomy. The scholars measured and divided the sun's annual movements into 24 equal parts, creating the 24 solar terms, which were used to govern agriculture in ancient China. Even to this day, this invention still guides the lives and traditions of hundreds of millions of Chinese people. Each year, around January 20th, the last solar term of the year, Greater Cold arrives. People all over China are keeping busy. Whether they're cleaning up the clutter or preparing New Year's gifts and goods, everyone is ready to welcome in the Chinese New Year. Spring Festival. Before I knew it, I was nearing the end of my journey to experience the 24 solar terms in China. Today is the last solar term of the year, the Greater Cold Solar Term, which is also the time of the year when the temperatures drop to their lowest point. During the Greater Cold Solar Term, I have come to Harbin, the Chinese city of ice. It is said to be the only large-scale city in China located in an extreme cold climate. Harbin International Ice and Snow Festival is one of the 4 major events of its type worldwide, and the world's longest ice and snow festival. Every winter, ice sculptors gather here and use huge blocks of ice to create famous buildings from around the world, and build a fairy tale landscape of ice and snow. It is here I got to know Wang Liang, a native of Harbin. 这全是冰，
到处都是，
就真跟盖楼是一样的。
好多的冰和雪，特别是这个大寒的天气，全国各地的游客全上这儿来，玩。
这个季节应该是最冷的一个季节，而且今年哈尔滨好像好几年就没有这么冷过，是吧？
对，很冷的。
你这么冷的时候，你还敢出门吗？
挺喜欢出门的，
不怕冷。你这种东北孩子真行。
只有这么冷的天气才适合这么多的冰雪长时间的在这放着，尤其这些冰是在松花江取出来，他们需要很厚的冰层，然后特别是松花江的水才能有这种冰，很轻。晚上这里的灯光，霓虹灯闪烁，然后各种的彩色的灯光一映衬，这块的冰景会更加的美丽。
While the cold brings great challenges to our lives, it also brings about a different kind of happiness. More than 100,000 cubic meters of ice are removed each year from the Songhua River, which flows through the city. This ice, formed by flowing river water, is crystal clear and is the best material for making ice sculptures and ice lanterns.
松花江也就是我们的母亲河，所以说只有松花江的冰才能打造出这么大的冰雪大世界，也只有这样的天气，才能形成这么大的乐园。
Wang Liang is a railway worker who often works overtime. Today is a rare holiday, where he can take his son out to play with the ice. To go to Harbin without trying ice cream from the modern ice cream brand is to go to Beijing without going to the Great Wall or the Forbidden City. It's more than 30 degrees Celsius below zero, and it's still packed with customers here. But believe it or not, this Harbin speciality was actually created by a French Jew more than 100 years ago.
我是英国人，英国的伦敦有好多鸽子，但我们首都好多人去那儿去喂鸽子什么的。
这块的鸽子也很多，是这个索菲亚教堂的一个特色。很多游人在这里观看这鸽子、喂鸽子，很多特别是小朋友特别喜欢。
就有一点像我们欧洲，是，其实好多建筑就是给咱们一个特别欧式的一个感觉。
对对对，哈尔滨是有铁路。车轮滚出来的城市，因为当时是沙俄在这里修建的中东铁路，然后呢，由这个铁路呢衍生出来这个城市，这里当时聚集了很多外国人，是多民族、多国籍，有10多个国家的人都在这里居住。
Compared with other Chinese cities that have a history of thousands of years, Harbin is a relatively young city with a history of little more than 100 years. In 1897, Tsarist Russia began to build the China Eastern Railway. The influx of people and capital created this industrial city. The European architecture of Harbin city centre is a constant reminder of that history.
这个是比较典型代表的一个叫圣索菲亚教堂。它的历史很悠久了，跟哈尔滨的城市一样的老，得有100多年的历史了。你看它上面这个钟楼一共有7个钟楼，象征着音乐键盘的哆来咪发嗦拉西哆。
Harbin is the largest city under the jurisdiction of Chinese provincial cities. Located in the center of Northeast Asia, it is known as the Pearl of the Eurasian Land Bridge. More than 100 years ago, it was one of the busiest stops at the intersection of East and West in China. In 1901, Harbin Middle East Railway Bridge was completed with a total length of more than 1,000 meters. It was one of the few large railway bridges in the world at this time, and the first bridge to cross the river in Harbin. Over the past 120 years, the bridge has witnessed the rapid development of Harbin from several villages and towns into an important city in the cultural, economic and trade center of the Far East.
其实哈尔滨的历史我就知道了一点，就是它历史其实不长，是吧？
对对对，100多年，
很年轻。
对，离咱们最近的这个就是这个新建的一个高铁桥，然后离远的那个就是最早的那个中东铁路的那个铁路桥啊，那个现在已经废弃了，就是供游人娱乐当步行街用了。
The Songhua River is one of the 7 major rivers in China, and also the mother river of Harbin. Thousands of miles of the Songhua River freeze during the greater cold solar term.
这个索道是在全中国来说，极寒天气在市中心唯一的一个。这个索道在世界上应该也算是首屈一指的，
是吧？
对，这么高寒的天气有这样的索道也很不容易啊。在这个季节，大家做这个观光，看这个松花江，尤其这个大寒的天气，在我们东北这个季节大家都在猫冬，在屋里，但是有很多游客，有很多那个哈尔滨的市民都上这儿来玩来。松花江的冰层很厚，很结实，上面跑汽车、走人都没有问题。
你们这儿的这个大旱的这个季节，你们这最冷能多少？最
冷的时候是零下能达到37、8度。
37、8度。对，
冬天也有冬天的乐趣啊！你像大家在这里赏冰玩雪，感觉也特别的好啊。对，尤其是孩子。
Harbin, located in Heilongjiang Province, is China's easternmost and northernmost province. The winter here is particularly long. Generally, by November, the province has entered its extreme cold period, which can sometimes last until April. But even in such a cold place, people can still find a lot of fun. Hard ice and thick snow provide Harbin with plenty of winter sports venues. Snow and ice sports are very popular in this city.
我上一个节气就在三亚，
是吗？
在三亚的时候几乎都是东北人，而且
对
到了
对
这儿就感觉为什么呢？因为这里就是太冷了。
太冷了，对。
But the colder it gets, the closer we are to the Chinese people's liveliest holiday, the Spring Festival.
我喜欢这种商场，各种东西都有。
对对对。
其实，因为我在中国时间长，就这个时间是最快乐的一个时间。
对。
因为大家都是买这个的，这都是什么东西呢？
这个对于我们中国人来说是最传统的东西。现在正好是24节气的大寒。大寒对于我们中国人意味着就是马上要来到年关了，所以说大家在这个季节，要把家里去年用过的东西要换掉买一些新的。
换掉什么呢？
比如说一些生活的日用品，一些这春联这些代表去年的东西要换掉，要把今年的一些新的这些东西要买来。
这种福字，你们都会贴在你们哪儿呢？
一般都贴在正门上，寓意着福来到了我们家里，迎春接福啊，这种好的寓意。特别是春节以后，马上孩子3月份面临要开学了，然后我们在购置年货的同时，也要给孩子买一些学习用品啊，一些生活日用品啊，准备他们又一年来年开春的这个他们的上学。
Besides the New Year's market, there is one other place where you can best experience the greater cold solar term right before the Spring Festival. I don't think there's a railway system in the whole world that's as busy as China's during the greater cold solar term, which is the peak of China's Spring Festival travel rush. Even the oldest railway station in Harbin is full of people ready to travel. For most people, the train station is the starting point for their journey back home. But for Wang Liang, the railway station is his home throughout the year. The train system gave birth to Harbin. The railway station acts as the city's heart, with the tracks stretching across the frozen earth like veins. With less than a week left before Spring Festival, it is now the busiest time for freight trains. 11-hour day shifts plus 12-hour night shifts ensure that the bulk goods like coal, wood and grain make it all over the country before Spring Festival. This is the coldest and busiest portion of Greater Cold Solar Term.
王亮，现在我们来了一个车是吧？
对，这一列40辆，
从后边被推过去，
对
是吧？
机车给它推过来，
对的，
然后上这来接体。这个车站，我们海南站，这是所有的车辆都要上这来集结，然后我们负责把它分拣，运送到全国各地。海南站是一个路网性的一个编组站，就属于货运的编组站。
那每天大概多少？
每天的日均办理量在17000辆左右，最高的办理量是21000辆，最高。
你要负责什么呢？
负责每一辆的解体，解体齐钩，完了之后把这个车给它分解下去，分解下去，然后进入这个各个方向，一共32条道，开往全国各地的车都由这32条道去给它分开。
这个车是去哪儿呢？
这些车基本往北京方向，往北京，往南方去的，对，有往沈阳去的，有往那个成都啊、东北运过来的车全要从这走。
我明白。
This is a huge project that requires great patience and care. Before each train arrives, workers receive an inventory list along with the vehicle number. How many carriages are bound for Beijing, how many carriages to Shanghai, and so on. When the train arrives at the station, workers count the cars and separate them accordingly. Once separated, self-driving tracks will lead them in new directions to deliver goods and materials needed by people around the country for Spring Festival in an accurate and timely manner.
因 因为这个季节，马上要过年了嘛，所以说各个地方的货物、大宗货物、行包货物都要从这儿运出去，往全国各地运出去，全国各地运往黑龙江的货物也要全到这儿来。而且这个季节呢，大宗货物特别多，虽然天气很冷，但是车流是很多的。
所以到了过年，中国人就开始疯狂的买东西。
对，忙年我们叫
王年。
对，忙年。
所以咱们有那么多车，
对。对。而且呢，就是我们的工作特点是呢，就是越是夜班越冷的时候，车会越多，我们的工作量会越大。因为白天客车都给客车走的时间，然后货车呢都在晚上跑，都在晚上作业。
你几乎到这个季节，你没有自己的生活。
几乎就是一年到头就是这个周而复始的，尤其到冬天大寒的季节，我们会更忙。
老婆怎么样？她她会有一些意见吗？
起初会有吧，但是10多年了，也是理解了。
When the evening lights are lit, the dazzling world of snow and ice comes to life. No matter how frozen the landscape becomes, hope continues to spring forth. The trains carry their New Year's goods all over to people who anxiously await their arrival. Spring Festival is just around the corner. At the beginning of spring, the cattle will enter the fields once again and receive the farmer's blessing in a welcoming ceremony. New growth begins to peek through the forest ground after the first spring rain. The small creatures of the field awake and exult at the first sound of thunder. This is the cycle of the solar terms, a natural law that the Chinese have inherited and adhered to for thousands of years. In the past year, 24 trips to 24 towns and 24 wonderful encounters have given me a close look at China's ancient 24 solar terms. And with it, a better understanding of Chinese traditional culture, lifestyle, and emotional expression. Though my incredible journey has come to an end, the 24 solar terms will continue their cycle, just as they have for millennia.